As global trade continues to evolve in 2025, U.S. importers are encountering new challenges that are reshaping the landscape of international commerce. The combination of evolving trade policies, shifting supply chains, technological advancements, and global economic volatility presents a unique set of hurdles for businesses that rely on importing goods from abroad. These challenges not only affect their bottom lines but also demand new strategies, innovations, and operational adjustments. In this video, we will explore the top 10 challenges facing U.S. importers in 2025 and how they can navigate these obstacles. 1. Increased tariffs and trade barriers. One of the most significant challenges U.S. importers face in 2025 is the rise in tariffs and trade barriers. With ongoing global trade disputes and policy shifts, new tariffs have been imposed on certain imported goods. These trade restrictions add extra costs, creating challenges in maintaining profit margins while keeping prices competitive. Importers must adjust their cost structures, renegotiate supplier agreements, or even consider shifting their supply chains to mitigate these rising costs. 2. Supply chain disruptions. Supply chain disruptions remain a persistent issue in 2025, with ongoing global uncertainties, such as geopolitical tensions and natural disasters, continuing to affect the flow of goods. The pandemic's lasting impact and shifts in trade routes have led to delays, shortages, and higher transportation costs. U.S. importers must address these challenges by diversifying suppliers, optimizing inventory management, and strengthening relationships with logistics providers to ensure a more resilient supply chain. 3. Fluctuating freight costs. Freight costs, particularly for shipping goods across the globe, have been volatile in recent years, and 2025 is no exception. Rising fuel prices, capacity shortages, and increased demand for shipping services contribute to unpredictable freight charges. Importers must adapt by rethinking shipping strategies, possibly consolidating shipments, negotiating long-term contracts with carriers, or exploring alternative transportation options such as air freight to minimize the impact of fluctuating costs. 4. Currency exchange rate volatility. Currency exchange rate volatility continues to be a challenge for U.S. importers in 2025, especially when dealing with countries that have less stable currencies. Exchange rate fluctuations can make imports more expensive and unpredictable, affecting profit margins. To manage this risk, U.S. importers need to use hedging strategies, such as forward contracts or currency options, to protect against unfavorable exchange rate movements and maintain stable pricing. 5. Environmental and sustainability regulations. As environmental concerns grow, new sustainability regulations are being implemented across many countries, including the U.S. These regulations often involve stricter standards for the environmental impact of imported goods, such as carbon emissions from production or shipping. U.S. importers must ensure compliance with these regulations, which may require changes in their sourcing strategies, additional certifications, and investments in eco-friendly alternatives to remain competitive. 6. Increased compliance and documentation requirements. Regulatory compliance continues to be a significant challenge for U.S. importers, with increasing demands for accurate documentation and reporting. New laws and regulations, such as stricter customs rules, require importers to be more vigilant in their reporting practices. Failing to meet these requirements can result in delays, fines, and penalties. To navigate these challenges, U.S. importers must invest in updated compliance software, ensure proper staff training, and work closely with customs brokers to ensure smooth operations. 7. Labor shortages in logistics and customs. Labor shortages in the logistics and customs industries remain a persistent issue in 2025. Ports, warehouses, and trucking companies continue to face staffing challenges, which result in slower processing times, increased costs, and delays in shipments. To mitigate this challenge, U.S. importers can adopt more automated systems, invest in training programs for employees, and explore outsourcing to third-party logistics providers, 3PLs, to maintain operational efficiency. 8. Rising security concerns. Security concerns, both physical and cybersecurity related, are growing for U.S. importers in 2025. With an increase in cyberattacks targeting supply chains, logistics, and trade-related data, businesses must invest in stronger cybersecurity measures to protect sensitive information. Additionally, physical security risks, such as theft or damage during transit, also require enhanced security protocols. U.S. importers must stay ahead of security threats by adopting cutting-edge technologies and best practices to safeguard their operations. 9. Changing consumer preferences. Consumer preferences are rapidly shifting, and U.S. importers must stay attuned to these changes to remain competitive. For example, there is an increasing demand for ethically sourced products, organic goods, and items that align with sustainability values. Importers need to be more agile in sourcing products that meet evolving consumer expectations, which may involve finding new suppliers or adjusting their product offerings to match demand. 10. Intellectual property and counterfeit goods. Counterfeit products continue to be a concern for U.S. importers, particularly in industries like electronics, fashion, and pharmaceuticals. The rise in counterfeit goods not only hurts brands and consumers but can also lead to legal and financial consequences. Importers need to implement strict measures to ensure that the products they import meet intellectual property laws and do not infringe on patents or trademarks. This requires robust vetting processes, collaboration with intellectual property lawyers, and working closely with suppliers to verify the authenticity of goods. The challenges facing U.S. importers in 2025 are multifaceted and will require a combination of strategic planning, technological adoption, and regulatory compliance. From rising tariffs and unpredictable supply chain disruptions to changing consumer preferences and increasing security risks, importers must be more agile and proactive in addressing these obstacles. By investing in automation, diversifying supply chains, improving compliance systems, and staying attuned to market trends, U.S. importers can navigate these challenges effectively and maintain competitiveness in an increasingly complex global trade environment.